Miss Lisa Fischer, we can't believe you're here. You spent 26 years with the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Let's hear a little clip from the documentary that you were featured in, 20 Feet from Stardom. This is Mick Jagger talking about you.
Uh-oh.
When you can get someone like Lisa to step out, then you've got a whole new voice out there.
It's like I could hear how Mick was singing that night and, you know, react to him a certain way. Like nobody else was in the room. It was freeing in a weird way.
The Rolling Stones have a bunch of Western Mass connections that we won't get into right now either, because I think that the people that work for them were not there when you were there. But the part that you're singing right there is the part that Mary Clayton made famous in the actual recording. She's also in the documentary. And
Yes.
I get emotional every time I hear because her voice has this incredible crack.
Yes.
When you hear the original recording,
Yes.
and then you hear Mick Jagger go, "Woo!"
Yes.
And I get filled with such emotion that they left that on the recording.
Yeah.
How did it feel to be able to go out there, not just with that song, but all the other songs of the Stones, night after night, for 26 years, which in Rolling Stones time is just a drop in the bucket. They are 1,000 years old.
I know. It was two things at once. It was terrifying because it was a whole new way that I had to learn to be free. And a lot of the background things that I was doing was a lot more structured with choreography, and, you know, everything had to be in a particular way. So I was trying to find myself, and they gave me the space. And once I knew I had the space, then it was like, ooh, game's on now. Let the cat out the bag now.
One of the things that I've admired about your voice and your career is just your general versatility. Like, you've done like jazz, you've done rock, you've done techno, you've done like all of these things with such like power and nuance. But like, what has singing with those other artists brought to your solo stuff and your current career?
It brings permission. It brings a needle and thread for me to heal the things that are broken within me. So, you know, through having a record deal and just everything having to be put in a box that needs to be pushed and sold a certain way, and you got to look a certain way and act a certain way. I was like, wait a minute. This is a buffet. This isn't just a one-stop, one-thing thing. Music should be as free as the people that listen, you know. So it brings a sense of quilting to my soul.
When you were talking about being put in a box, did it have to do with the early part of your career when you did win a Grammy for your solo work? But in that early '90s, when the record industry was still this behemoth, it's changed in a lot of ways, for better and for worse.
And with very specific ideas of what black music looks like.
Yeah.
Baby, baby, ooh, yes, indeed. Yeah, it was having a record deal in my 30s, which they thought was old. To me, my soul was still, 18. It was a new experience for me. So, they're like, oh, well, you have to sound like this, and we can't have too many songs that don't fit that group, that genre. We don't know how to sell it. Every radio station had their thing that they were pushing in, the rock station, and you got your R&B stations, blah, 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 and all that's great. But I'm just getting the feeling now that with the way music is being created and the freedom that young people are experiencing now, it's so needed and it's so varied. And you see these sprinklings of all these spices from other pots kind of going into rhythm and blues, which, I'm loving this freedom I'm seeing. I'm just loving it.
Let's play a little clip again from the documentary. This is Sting talking about Miss Lisa Fischer.
Seems that she's gone, leaving too soon. During the Hounds of Winter, I just indicated to Lisa that she should, vocalize and do something to evoke the spirit of loneliness or whatever. And out comes this voice, this amazing, extraordinary, ghostly voice. So every time she's performed that with me, I've asked her to do that. That's a powerhouse voice, and I think of her as a star. I mean, she's a star.
We think that way too, Sting. You have a great solo career. You're going to be playing with Ranky Tanky tonight. But if one of these tomorrow night, excuse me. But if one of these big stars were to pick up the phone and say, come back out on the road with me on Sunday, if you had to pick one of them that you've been out with, who would you wish was on the other end of that phone?
Ooh.
Living or dead?
Luther Vandross.
I was going to say.
I'm glad we brought him up because that was a big part of the career too.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, the first time I ever had my face, quote unquote, beat was, so, for his tour. And so the makeup artist was Rene DiCimiso. And he was a beautiful, Latin, gorgeous man. And just had so much flair even when he just walked down the street. And so this is the guy that actually gets to beat my face. But Luther didn't want me to see myself in the mirror. So I had to turn my back, from the mirror. He's doing all this stuff, and I'm feeling all this powder, and stuff is flying. And, look here, look there, Tina, close your eyes, all this stuff. And then Luther comes in to see me first. Oh, and he did my hair as well. Bobby pins everywhere. Luther comes in, sees me, and he approved it. He approved the look. And then I turn around. I was like, can I see? And I turn around and I look and I was like, oh, who is that woman? How interesting. Because I know the woman underneath her, but who is this woman? Oh, who do I want to be? Who do I get to be? It was like this transformation. And it was like, to me, like the blossoming in the beginning, and everything that he's taught me goes into everything else I do.
I know we only have like a minute left, but Lisa, why jazz now? Why the evolution into jazz for this stage of your career?
It's interesting. It's like, I think mainly I've always felt that it was there, that all the music that I've done, all the music that I listen to, all the background things that I've worked on, it's a thread. It's all there. And so it's like, feels like a natural progression. Yeah.
That is the legendary Ms. Lisa Fischer, who everyone in the building has fanned out about today, and who you can see tomorrow for free in downtown Springfield as part of the Jazz and Roots Festival, as well as T. Swan and talent who have joined us. And a big thank you to Bianca Jimenez from Blues to Green as well. Thank you all for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Amazing people sitting here, all of you.
And thank you for being a part of this like really wonderful thing that Springfield does, again, for free for like anybody to come and participate in. Music really is like the true language of everyone.